to providing resources for the city, to HPD and law enforcement, that the law enforcement's budget, Rhonda, who keeps the books, for the first time in this history of the city, HPD's budget will exceed $1 billion. Rhonda, you stay at your office and leave me alone. But let me thank you. Let me just say to you, it's been an honor and a privilege because I have seen what you do first up, close up, and in person. Folks often talk about the crimes, but when we face 7 federally declared disasters, since I have been mayor, police officers have been out on the street, in the water, in the wind, and you've had one who sacrificed his life out there. So whether it's the storms, hurricanes, Winter Storm Uri, you name it, police officers have been out there on the forefront. All of the events that we have had in this city, all of them, police officers have been out there first and foremost. So people think about just crime, but you do that and so much more. And because of that, let me present this to you, Chief Fenner. So therefore I, Sylvester Turner, Mayor of the City of Houston, hereby proudly proclaim May 1st, 2023 through May 5th, 2023 as National Police Week in the City of Houston. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. Thank you. We're both about the same height.
So we are about the same height. I think I'm a little bit taller, sir. And just want to get something straight right quick. That $1 billion budget, about 92–93% goes to salary. So don't think that we're rich. We still don't need our foundation. We definitely need our Chevron people too. Thank y'all so much. Look. My heart is warm, and I want y'all to know that as your leader. We got the best police officers, the best support staff in the world, best citizens of this great city, and so much support. I also want to thank, and looking at this event today, because this is one of my favorites. No sad times here. We're celebrating excellence. Because each and every one of our employees are special. Some are going to get acknowledged as the best of the best, but each and every one. So they called out the command staff and some of the executive team, some of those members, but I want each and every employee of the Houston Police Department, both classified and support, please stand and let's acknowledge your hard work. Thank you. Already eaten, and I didn't want to be competing with that eating. That's why we switched it around a little bit. But I want to pause. And Charlene Floyd, thank you so much for heading up our foundation. You do a fabulous job, day in and day out. And we don't have all the money we need. Our board members, and I want to acknowledge the ones who are here: Twyla Carter, Don Sanders, John Eddie Williams, and Joanne Maitre. I think I got everybody, and my family. And I mean this. Chevron, you are there not only for the police, but everything that we do in this city, I really appreciate it. Also our community affairs. Thank y'all so much, and everybody that volunteered to put this together. But why are we here? We're here as Police Week. We're here to celebrate excellence, but let's never forget the most important thing to me and our family. 121 officers since the beginning of HPD have lost their lives, paid the ultimate sacrifice. So Friday, during this week here in Houston, we honor them. But I want to honor them and also all of our other agencies around the nation. Those individuals who sacrificed and paid that ultimate sacrifice, let's never forget about them. But again, this is a great city, and I'm so, so very happy to be leading this agency, because you, ladies and men, are the best in the nation. I just want to say thanks, but we got to get rolling. Let's get up here. I know we got some Lifetime Achievement Awards, and we got some people that really did some great things. So thank y'all so much for being here. And before I sit down, family members, I want you to come up with the recipients, okay? Because we can't do anything without our families. So I want y'all to come up. I want everybody to see your faces. Thank you for supporting our troops. Thank you for supporting our team. Thank y'all so much, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you, Mayor, for those encouraging words. Before we start with our recipients, we'd also like to acknowledge our Award Selection Committee for their dedication. They have the responsibility for reading and voting on all nominations, and we cannot honor our personnel with these awards without them. It takes a lot of work and a lot of commitment to do that. Committee, will you please stand and be recognized? As we begin our program, let me start by letting our award recipients know what to expect when coming on the stage. I will announce your name. You will come forward and enter stage right. When I read, all right, you will come forward and enter stage right. While I read your narrative, you will take a photo with the chief, your family members also, and the mayor, and exit stage left. Immediately following the ceremony, all recipients and their guests will have another opportunity to take a photo with the chief. And before we get any further, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind everybody that that's what these white name tags. If you're a award recipient and the family member, please remove those so they don't show up in your photos, okay? So take a second to do that right now. All right, we gather today in observance of our annual Police Week to recognize 32 dedicated employees for their hard work and dedication. And this has all been made possible by those who have taken the time to nominate their colleagues and fellow employees. We will start our award ceremony with the Rookie of the Year Award. The award recipient is Officer John England. After completing his probationary training, Officer John England chose North Patrol Division as his first assignment. Officer England uses his training and resources to respond to calls, and he was dispatched to a scene where upon arrival he noticed a language barrier. He used Google Translate to swiftly respond to the situation and ask for language assistance. While investigating, Officer England discovered a history of domestic violence. Officer England requested the Domestic Abuse Response Team, or DART team, to assess the situation and spoke to the Harris County District Attorney's Office. Officer England's dedication to the victim of family violence, his thoroughness, and desire to seek out the truth led to the removal and arrest of the suspect. Officer England exhibits a great example to his peers of how a patrol officer should respond when faced with difficult challenges. Officer England is dependable and is always eager to learn. Great qualities in a rookie police officer. Next award category is the Instructor of the Year Award. And the award recipient is Senior Police Officer Dennis H. DeMagas. Senior Police Officer Dennis DeMagas has been employed with the Houston Police Department for 29 years, and his work ethic, productivity, and professionalism are beyond reproach. He is the Vice Division's lead differential response team member, investigator, and also he has distinguished himself within the Houston Police Department and outside law enforcement agencies throughout the state of Texas when it comes to nuisance abatement investigations and the training of new DRT officers and supervisors within the department. In 2022, Officer DeMagas was instrumental in educating law enforcement officers and community members about using code enforcement to address human trafficking, which examines the use of code enforcement to address human trafficking occurring at all illicit massage and sexually-oriented businesses. Officer DeMagas has developed and teaches nuisance abatement during the Vice Investigator and Departmental DRT courses. He has initiated a field training course and checklist for new DRT investigators assigned to the Vice Division. Officer DeMagas has been requested by the Dallas Police Department's Vice Units to conduct training for their Vice Detectives nuisance abatement investigations. Additionally, in 2022, Officer DeMagas was requested to train detectives and supervisors in crimes against women and the National Asian Police Officers Association. experts on how DRT investigations are utilized to investigate human trafficking and how to work in collaboration with city legal, the county attorney's office, and the Texas Attorney General's office to hold businesses and property owners accountable to prevent human trafficking from occurring at their locations. All right. The next award is the Field Training Officer of the Year, and the award recipient is Officer Van B. Woodley. Officer Woodley carries a lifetime of valuable life and police experience with him into the role of field trainer. It is believed that every single probationary police officer or PPO that he trains walks away not only highly trained in the policies and procedures of the Houston Police Department, but they also are equipped with the intangible aspects that make a great police officer, such as self-control, showing compassion and empathy, and being respectful to all. For the multitude of young officers in the Northeast Division, he is the go-to person not only for advice on police work, but also personal issues. Officer Woodley helps handle the station orientation for new incoming probationary officers. Officer Woodley single-handedly and proactively developed a binder containing important information such as key map pages, important landmarks, every police form known to man, and other resources to aid the new officers. Officer Woodley goes out of his way to prepare each probationary police officer for success. Our next award recipient is for Patrol Officer of the Year, and that is Officer Clayton Williams. All right. Officer Clayton Williams is assigned to the Northeast Division day shift. He was dispatched to a burglary of a motor vehicle call where the complainant's vehicle was burglarized and multiple items were stolen, including a pistol and multiple electronic devices. Officer Clayton conducted an in-depth investigation and was able to view the suspects on video. The suspects were also seen on video surveillance breaking into other vehicles at the same location. The complainant advised Officer Williams that he was able to live track his iPad to a hotel. Officer Williams and other officers responded to this location and located the vehicle used in the burglaries. As Officer Williams continued the investigation, he viewed video which showed the room the suspects had entered the hotel. Multiple officers responded to the scene, and the assistance of the K-9 unit was requested. With guidance from multiple supervisors, a plan of action was developed to approach the hotel room. This was necessary as at least one firearm was stolen, and inside the suspect's vehicle a rifle bag could be seen through, and from the suspect's vehicle a rifle bag could be seen through the hotel window. Officers could hear loud movement inside the hotel room. Officer Williams knocked on the door, and two males exited the room and were detained without incident. Officers later obtained a search warrant for the hotel room and the suspect's vehicle. 4 firearms were found concealed in the toilet tank of the hotel room, including the complainant's firearm. During the search, all the complainant's property was recovered, along with narcotics and burglary tools. And the next award recipient is for Patrol Supervisor of the Year, and that is for Sergeant Ignacio Rodriguez. Sergeant Ignacio Rodriguez transferred to the Northeast Division on April 2nd, 2022. During routine patrols in the area, he noticed a slab part of it that occurred almost every Sunday evening on Lower Pompey Road. SLAB is an acronym for slow, loud, or low, and banging, and is a social media organized gathering attracting anywhere between 100 to upwards of 500 vehicles at a small location. Sergeant Rodriguez further noticed that this event caused major traffic issues as these vehicles were illegally parked and performed burnouts in the area, creating traffic hazards and limiting the metro bus routes with the heavy traffic congestion. Due to the driving behaviors of the SLAB participants, it posed dangers for pedestrians walking in the area as well as other incoming traffic. Sergeant Rodriguez took the initiative to solve this issue and met with social media directors to establish a relationship. He created a plan of action to address the traffic, utilizing 4 patrol units to block certain directions of travel in the street in an effort to curb the traffic problem. Thanks to him developing a relationship with social media directors, Sergeant Rodriguez learned of an upcoming Halloween event and recognized the dangers that would be present for children in the area. He requisitioned additional manpower resources, including the differential response team, street racing squad, and patrol officers, and created an action plan to address the event, demonstrating a strong personal initiative in solving this ongoing issue. Thanks to his efforts and action plan, the event was successful, and no injuries or major issues occurred. And the next award is the Civilian Support Services Employee of the Year. The award recipient is City Skilled Laborer David Simmons. City Skilled Laborer David Simmons actively served the airport IH division, caring for the 87 vehicles assigned to the division. Mr. Simmons ensures the fleet is maintained and operational safe. Many of the tasks Mr. Simmons takes care of are by policy, the officer's responsibility. He cleans out hazardous waste from the interior of the vehicles and also inventories the trunks of the cars to make sure officers have all items that may possibly be needed at a scene. These items include, but are not limited to, first aid kits, flares, body blankets, gloves, fire extinguishers, hand sanitizers, a floating rescue bag, and crime scene tape. Without these items in the patrol vehicles, officers and citizens could potentially be put at risk at a scene, which is why what Mr. Simmons does daily is extremely important for the department. The next category is the Tactical Officer of the Year. The award recipient is Officer Mark Davis. Officer Mark Davis is assigned to the Northeast Division Crime Suppression Team. He led a lengthy proactive investigation into catalytic converter theft ring in the Northeast area. His crime analysis sparked a multi-state investigation, beginning a partnership with Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI, in Oklahoma, where he acted as their liaison. Over 100 law enforcement personnel were involved across 7 locations. If it was not for the efforts of Officer Davis's investigation, this operation would not have happened. His investigation yielded 17 suspects arrested, $1.6 million seized, and 690 stolen catalytic converter recovered. Because of Officer Davis's expertise, he has spoken at the conference with HSI to help educate other law enforcement officials on how to conduct catalytic converter operations in their areas. All right, for our next award recipient, we ask that there be no pictures or filming. This is for the Undercover Investigator of the Year Award. That recipient is Senior Police Officer Kyle M. Smith. On June 29, 2022, a concerned citizen contacted Senior Police Officer Kyle Smith on suspicion of an adult male engaging in sexual activities with a minor. Officer Smith built a rapport with the suspect through text messages. In partnership with the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office, Assistant District Attorneys, Precinct 3 constables, and the Department of Public Safety officers were on standby to assist in the investigation. Officer Smith set up an undercover operation with the Vice Division to meet at a local hotel. Upon arriving at the hotel, Officer Smith rode the elevator to the second floor with the suspect, where he was taken into custody by uniformed Precinct 3 constables. Officer Smith's heroic efforts led to the suspect being charged in Montgomery County for online solicitation of a minor and 3 counts of child pornography. recipient is Senior Police Officer Jeffrey Michael. Senior Police Officer Jeffrey Michael emerged as a respected and talented handler during his tenure in the Patrol K-9 detail. In 2022, the detail received a large volume of onboarding of new handlers and dogs. Officer Michael rose to the challenge. He applied his experience to the 3-month training to evaluate and improve the current operations. In addition to his duties as a trainer, Officer Michael is one of the 3 handlers designated on the SWAT K-9 team. The SWAT training cadre regularly consult him in an effort to improve their effectiveness of K-9 deployments on special threat scenes. All the while, Officer Michael maintains an on-call status and regularly responds to special threat scenes outside of his regular duty hours. His professionalism and expertise are second to none and worthy of recognition. And the next category award is for the CIT Officer of the Year, and that recipient is Officer Kendall Griffin. Officer Kendall Griffin has been with the Crisis Intervention Response Team, or CIRT, since March 2013. CIRT often responds to procedures with the SWAT detail and hostage negotiation team to provide support. Officer Griffin has emerged as a regular resource in support of these operations. Officer Griffin has set himself apart by stepping up and contributing to the Crisis Intervention Response Team. He has resolved numerous scenes which have the potential to turn into SWAT scenes. On June 13, 2022, officers were dispatched to a suicidal subject in a public park. The mental health consumer brandished a firearm and threatened to kill herself. Officer Griffin stepped in and began communicating with the consumer until the SWAT detail and hostage negotiation team could respond to the scene. He established a rapport and performed admirably and with compassion. For over an hour and a half, Officer Griffin continues to respond to special threat situations, and Officer Griffin is deserving of recognition for his consistent professionalism, his courage, and his willingness to step into some of the most difficult scenes. And the Differential Response Team Community Services Officer of the Year Award recipient is Senior Police Officer Nicole Carter. In December of 2022, Senior Police Officer Nicole Carter spearheaded a drive-through Christmas event that emerged from the combination of cops, bears, and division toy drive. Officer Nicole Carter has run what was a small holiday event to an extravagant affair that has been adopted by the mayor's office as one of the city's largest holiday events. The event provided an estimated 15,000 toys, 350 bikes, and food to children and adults in the Northside community. Officer Carter's drive-through blueprint, which was incorporated in the event, which was created out of necessity, has evolved into the standard for public events in a post-COVID era. Officer Carter has dedicated countless hours seeking donors and enlisting hundreds of volunteers. This community event and others that have followed would not have been possible without the vision and sheer determination of Officer Carter, who displayed exemplary dedication to serve her community as well as the department. Her positive actions in assisting the citizens of Houston have had an immeasurable impact on helping maintain a strong relationship with the community she serves. Our next award is the Senior Police Officer of the Year, and that award recipient is Senior Police Officer Crystal T. Charles. As the early warning unit coach, Senior Police Officer Crystal Charles diligently spends her time helping other officers address their issues. Officer Charles' goal is to deliver a positive experience for each officer that will ultimately assist them in growing and excelling in their careers. Participants of the program speak highly of Officer Charles and attributes that attribute a great part of the success in the program to her mentorship. Officer Charles has demonstrated an immense passion for assisting officers and goes above and beyond to help participants in the program. She often goes out of her way to interact with participants after hours. It is apparent that Officer Charles possesses servant leadership and believes in serving her fellow officers. Due to her hard work and dedication, she has helped save officers' careers by helping them return to a successful path. All right, for this next award recipient, we ask again that there be no pictures or filming, or no photos or filming of the award recipient. And this is for the Proactive Investigator of the Year Award. And the award recipient is Officer Justin S. Kilty. On February 22nd, 2022, Officer Justin Kilty, who was assigned to the Vice Division Night Show, was conducting a proactive human trafficking investigation in Southwest Houston. During this investigation, Officer Kilty encountered a female who appeared to be disoriented and wearing very little clothing, which was torn. Sensing that something was wrong, Officer Kilty directed a patrol unit to make contact with the female and bring her to a safe location. Once safe, Officer Kilty was able to quickly gain the woman's trust and learn that she was being forced to prostitute in the area. He additionally learned that she met her traffickers on a dating app, and that shortly after meeting the suspects, they began daily brutally sexually and physically assaulting her. Officer Kilty discovered that the victim suffered from a form of cerebral palsy and diminished mental capacity, which the traffickers exploited. Officer Kilty was able to coordinate a multi-agency action plan, which resulted in the arrest of both traffickers, for each charged with human trafficking, compelling prostitution, and aggravated sexual assault. More importantly, this victim was saved from the brutal and vicious traffickers and reunited with her family. The next category award is for the Reactive Investigator of the Year, and that award recipient is Senior Police Officer Alexandra Harold. Senior Police Officer Alexandra Harold used her experience from the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, otherwise known as the ATF, as a task force officer to investigate a serial aggravated robbery incident. In December 2022, two suspects robbed a citizen at gunpoint. On the same day, the same two suspects then robbed a USPS worker at gunpoint, demanding the master key. After a thorough investigation while working with the agents of the U.S. Postal Inspector's Office, Officer Harold identified one of the suspects. Her experience working in the robbery division and with other agencies led to the swift recovery of evidence and issuance of an arrest warrant. Officer Harold is a great example of the department's best. Our next award category is for Partners of the Year. And this award goes to Officer Daniel Sherrill and Officer Andrew Sugg. Officer Sherrill and Sugg are Proactive Patrol Partners, currently operating as the North Bell EV Shift Hotspot Unit. Over the course of calendar year 2022, the officers produced immense productivity numbers that included over 115 charges filed, while simultaneously recovering 39 unlawfully possessed firearms, 8 of which were recovered during the month of December alone. To improve their own productivity and expertise, both officers take multiple in-service courses, allowing them to hone their skills, knowledge, and familiarity with the changing tactics of policy and law. As a result, Officers Sherrill and Sugg are regularly sought out by younger novice officers seeking to improve their own proactive investigations. The North Bell Hotspot community has witnessed a substantial reduction in illicit encampments, complaints, police resources, and trash services to the area. The pair has received 12 commendations in 2022. Their initiative in problem-solving, investigative skills, life-saving efforts, and relentless apprehension of suspects speak for themselves. Officer Sherrill and Sugg's actions have made the North Bell area a safer place to both live and work. And the next award is for the Investigative Supervisor of the Year. And that award recipient is Sergeant Eric A. Bertrand. Sergeant Eric Bertrand took over the Northwest Crime Suppression Team, or CST, evening shift on May 14, 2022. Sergeant Bertrand's experience and leadership skills quickly began to fit, and he began to shine as a leader of the newly selected officers. Despite their low numbers, only 1 sergeant and 6 officers, the new CST was able to compile 94 felony arrests in the first 90 days of their existence. On top of that, they also compiled 40 Class A and B misdemeanor arrests, 29 felony warrant arrests, and 12 misdemeanor warrant arrests. Additionally, they seized over more than $9,500 and took 15 pistols on the streets, as well as saw a 64% increase in the amount of hard narcotics seized over the previous 90-day period. On August 19, 2022, Sergeant Bertrand and his squad checked by on a robbery call with patrol. They recognized it as a human trafficking situation and quickly deployed resources. After conducting a brief investigation, Sergeant Bertrand forced entry into the unit. 1 male and 2 females were detained inside. 3 males were detained by officers on the perimeter that Sergeant Bertrand set up. This incident undoubtedly saved multiple people from being victims of human trafficking within the city because of Sergeant Bertrand's leadership. And I ask yet again, no filming for this next award recipient. All right, Technical Support Employee of the Year. And this award goes to Sergeant Christian Jordan. Sergeant Christian Jordan created the Technical Operations Group with the directive to expand the department's use of automated license plate readers, or ALPR. The department had access to approximately 280 ALPR cameras in 2021. Sergeant Jordan's proactive approach to simplify data sharing across various state, corporate, private entities to query cameras served as the basis for his work. Through his efforts, the department now has access to data from more than 8,300 flock safety fixed ALPR cameras throughout the country. Sergeant Jordan's initiative and knowledge of working with flock to improve their systems increased cameras within the city of Houston. In 2022, the department observed a significant decrease in both violent and nonviolent crimes because of Sergeant Jordan's tremendous effort, expertise, and dedication.
Thanks for the money. How much more money do you need?
The Civilian Technical Employee of the Year award goes to Program Analyst 4, Zubair Qureshi. Program Analyst 4, Zubair Qureshi, uses experience in Microsoft Access and natural leadership skills to help team members with access support programs. He single-handedly managed the ITSM, PRE, and crash systems while overseeing other MS Access programs for the department. In addition to the programs he manages, Mr. Qureshi also receives direct calls from users that have issues with their open access applications, which he is quick to assist. Mr. Qureshi was instrumental in upgrading 140 MS Access applications to 036. It's foreign language to me. Converting 10 MS Access databases to MS SQL, or SQL, and ensuring older but critical applications keep working and are backed up. As a subject matter expert on all things access, Mr. Qureshi served the department well. And our next award recipient is for the Civilian Administrative or Paraprofessional Employee of the Year, and that is Administrative Specialist Sean Followell. Administrative Specialist Sean Followell wears multiple hats to support the Risk Management Division's daily operations. Mr. Followell performs the following tasks: timekeeper, records management, budget, inventory, technology, and vehicle coordinator, which are normally performed by a group of 5. His tremendous energy and enthusiasm are an asset to the division as he masters different skills to fill in the division's administrative gaps. When the technology coordinator moved to another location, Mr. Followell stepped up to ensure the division had technical support. In addition to his professionalism, the way he interacts with employees of various ranks helps the day move along more smoothly. Mr. Followell produces efficient clerical work that makes him one of the most valuable members of the Risk Management Division.